the past, when we slide out the box, we see that it's the typical Omas silver and black base that we've seen with a number of other pens. On the inside is their suede-like material, and on the inside of the cap it says Italian creativity, history, craftsmanship, the pleasure of writing. This is found on almost all of their pens that I've reviewed so far. And pulling the tray out, we get all of Omas' materials, their congratulations card, and a little book showing all their other pens available. One little accessory that I actually really like is the inclusion of this pen sleeve. It actually does a very good job of protecting the pen. If, say, you don't have a shirt with a pocket, you can slide it into your pants pocket and it'll keep your pen and your phone or whatever else, free from scratches or dings. And here we can take a look at the overall shape of the pen. Of course, it's their standard famous faceted design with the roller clip and 3 cap bands. And if we pull the cap off and take a look at this titanium nib, we can get a better look at the imprint design, which is actually a homage to their older nib imprints, and it's a feature I really like. It's clean, it's simple, and it's just really attractive. Moving to the cap, we can get a better look at the details on that Greek fret cap band and also the roller clip. Let's take a look at this pen when it's in the hand. Now, in the posted position, it becomes very long, and it's not awkward, but it's just too long for practical use. Now, the entire pen is very light. It only weighs 20 grams, and the cap is a fraction of that, only weighing in at 3 or 4, so it doesn't throw the weight off that much. But if we take a look at the rear pen, you can see how far back it posts. Now, it does post solidly if you do want to post it, so there's no issues there, but I never really found the need to do so. I found it to be very comfortable whether the pen was posted or not. It's really going to be a choice up to the user. The star of this pen, though, is really the nib, and shouldn't that be for every pen? But here you can see how it sits in my hand when the cap is posted. It's a little long, but like I said earlier, it doesn't offset the balance that much. It's really comfortable to use. That cotton resin is really nice to hold. It's got a nice warm feel, not quite like celluloid, but it doesn't have that cold, harsh feel of say, a metal section would. It's actually a very comfortable pen to use, especially for long periods because it is so light. You won't run into any fatigue, and it's just a very comfortable pen in general. But let's take a closer look at the performance. Now, this is a medium titanium nib, and the only other available width is fine. So I know it's going to turn some people off, but really, I mean, it's a heck of a good nib, and if you can live with a finer or medium, I would highly suggest this pen. The feed is an ebonite feed, and it doesn't have a problem keeping up with the flow, especially when you really start to push into it and spread the tines. Now, this titanium nib is a really good combination of modern nib material and vintage flex. You don't quite get vintage flex responsiveness, but it's much better than, say, a modern palladium nib. The feel is just really, really good. And as you can see here in some of the writing sample, you get really good line variation, but it doesn't require so much pressure to spread the tines that your hand gets tired after a few sentences. But at the same time, there is enough resistance to the tines being spread that it's very easy to write without flexing the nib. You can maintain a simple medium line very easily. So you probably saw there at the end, the nib had skipped a few strokes. Well, that wasn't an issue with the feed. The pen actually ran out of ink. I'd been kind of going on a writing binge with this pen because the nib is just so fantastic, flexy fun that I wrote it out of ink. So I've actually never had a problem with the feed on this pen. No skipping, no hard starts, no variations in flow. It actually works very, very well. So don't be concerned about that. But really, this Omas Arte Italiana CE edition, it's a really, really good pen, especially as an introduction to Omas. The MSRP on this is $435 with a street price of around $350, which is a really good price, especially considering the resin version of the Milord is $100 more expensive, and the celluloid version is actually $250 more expensive. So it's a very affordable Italian fountain pen. If you don't have a lot of experience with Italian fountain pens, this is a really good pen to try out as your first one. This is, I think, the fourth or fifth Omas pen I've reviewed, and they've all been high quality. They write very well. The nibs are fantastic, and this one, it has a really good piston filler in it. It comes in a variety of colors, so if black's not your thing, you could go, with the red or the yellow, something a little bit flashier. But really, I don't think there's anything really bad about this pen that would turn anyone off. I mean, I suppose if I get real nitpicky about it, I could complain about the weight of the pen. Coming in at 20 grams, it is a very light pen, but someone like myself, I prefer a heavy pen. So, that's just kind of something you'll have to weigh in if you like heavy or light pens, or if that even matters to you. But go ahead and check the link in the description for my full written review. I include a lot of high resolution images there, and if you have any questions about this pen, please don't hesitate to leave them down below, and I'll answer them as soon as I can. Thanks for watching, everyone.